$48,000.
What somebody's willing to pay for it, I guess.
Absolutely. Welcome back to Personal Effects. Well, we're about to see a lot more inkwells. They may not be worth quite as much.
That's right, via our new road warrior, Angela Lamont. Angela, take it away. This looks great out there.
Hey guys, let me tell you, we're back with Pamela. She has been collecting animal inkwells for over 30 years and has 140 inkwells in her collection.
That's great.
Now, Pamela, I understand this is the one that got everything started.
Right, that's the pelican, and it's made out of pewter. It's from England. It's about 1920. This one has a glass inkwell that you can see on the bottom.
Yeah, you can see the bottom.
Right.
It's nice.
And this is the one I bought on Madison Avenue at an antique shop, actually. And I thought it was so funny that I just laughed all the way home after I bought it.
It's beautiful.
How much did this cost 30 years ago?
When I first bought this one, it was $60.
Uh-huh.
And the last time I saw a similar one, it was about $1,800.
Okay.
Nice.
Now, tell me a little bit about this one. This is actually brass and bronze, correct?
Yes, that's a combination. That's English. And the wonderful thing about this is this line has great personality because he's got a monocle with a chain. He's smoking a big cigar, which makes him a cross collectible for anybody who's a cigar collector.
Yeah.
And his hat lifts back and forth, and then you can see the inkwell inside there.
Can you guys see the detailing on the nose?
Yeah,
Yes.
it's great. It really is.
Very neat.
Yes,
How much is it
love
worth?
How much?
This one's probably over $2,000.
Wow.
You can see the back, too, all the mane
Nice.
on that.
Right. Now, I understand this is from England also, this horse. Tell us a little bit about this.
Yeah, this is probably a piece that was commissioned. It's a commemorative piece. The inkwell's inside, but the thing about this that's so incredible is that even though this is all bronze, it's made to look just like the leather strappings of a horse, and it's right down to the minute detail of what the horse would have been wearing.
Wow.
So again, the detailing is what makes something like
Yes.
this valuable.
Very valuable.
And you have pieces from all over the world in your collection.
Yes, yes.
And now, some of these inkwells aren't just single inkwells. They have double inkwells, like I understand this alligator.
Right. This is a bronze, and this is a double weld inkwell. What happens with this one is a lot of times people could have red ink, blue ink, or red ink and black ink. You had room over here to put the pen nibs because in those days you changed the nibs because you wore them out. And a lot of times you had pumice or some sort of powder that you powdered the letters you wrote to dry the ink.
Oh,
Again, the detailing.
Yeah,
Now, look at the belly.
look at that.
Isn't that incredible?
Looks real.
Yeah, and when we got this one, we were at an auction. The man we were bidding against was an alligator collector, so he's the guy that was our chief opposition on this, not an inkwell collector.
So again, a lot of these are cross collectibles.
Yes, yes.
Now, tell us something about this. Now, this is Russian, I
That's a
understand?
Russian bronze. That's right, the head lifts back. And this is interesting because it's really kind of a violent inkwell. The bear is fighting off these dogs. Back here, there's a place for you could put your pen quills over here.
Now, something like this, many of the Russian pieces were interested in the bears.
Yes.
Now, the French had a thing about angry dogs. What is this about?
Yeah, the fighting mastiffs. The French love the fighting bulldogs, and that one is interesting because that one actually has a muzzle on it.
Wow.
Yeah, you can open this up here. I'll show you.
Kind of
yeah.
scary.
What,
Yeah.
what is that, the inkwell inside, Pamela? Is that porcelain or what is that made of there?
That one happens to be glass.
Oh, that's glass, okay.
Yeah, sometimes they're porcelain, sometimes they're glass. It all depends. And you're lucky if you get the inkwell itself inside of it, but that doesn't take away, as far as I'm concerned, the value of the outside piece.
Interesting.
And you have many, many dogs in your collection, as we can see here. Now, tell us about some of these dogs.
This is one of my favorites. This is English also, and it's a little pug. And he's carved wood. The tail is just fabulous. He's got a gilded bronze collar, and he's just right down to the details.
Sure is.
Isn't
So
he
what
wonderful?
about this? A lot of the dogs, they dress them like humans. I see this one is holding an umbrella. This one has a hat on.
Right, this is a great one because this one lifts like this, and the dog is actually holding a little parasol.
Oh.
That's great.
Let me tell you, Pamela, this has been great. Thanks for inviting us into your home, explaining to us exactly what an animal inkwell is, and making my first day on the job pretty easy, so I really appreciate it.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you. Thanks, John and Claire.
Pamela, I guess it's safe to say that you don't actually keep any ink in any of these, is that right?
No, No, I don't.
Yeah, I don't blame you because it's a beautiful collection. Well done to both of you.
Yes.
Thank you both very much. Really enjoyed that.
Welcome aboard,
right,
Angela.
guys. Thanks, Claire. Thank you.
Great.
I couldn't believe the detail work. That pug looked like a pug.
Detail was the name of the game,
Yeah,
wasn't it?
isn't that something?
Alligator looked like
Those
an
are
alligator.
expensive.
Yeah, aren't they? I think they're worth it.
And if you're at an auction and somebody else wants one, get up that price.
Right. Stay with us. Personal FX will return, and when we do, we have a lot more appraisals coming your way.
You're looking at a 1920s Art Deco building located at Rye Playland in Rye, New York. And this is where you'll actually find the New York Rangers hard at practice. Welcome back to Personal FX. If you've been keeping track of all the items up for sale, you'll know that the following items are part of our recap, starting with the hat with all those buttons, some political, some advertising, most are pretty common. $250 to $300 for the kit and caboodle, as Rich Zelichowski said. And then we have the cocktail purse, very well made, in good condition, with jade and garnet stones. They're real, in the 50s and 60s, worth $125 or so. And we have the Britain's figures, $40 to $50 for all, made in England in the 1940s, lead cast, probably a tourist item. There is some damage to certain figures. And we have this really interesting looking 1960s television meant to commemorate the space walk. It does work, worth $50 to $500. We saw a table lamp that is Tiffany style, probably a newer piece, worth in the range of $700 to $1,500. And there is that neat folding hanger from the late 40s made by the Esso Oil Company. It is an advertising promotion, $15 to $25. 1961 Corvair wheel covers, complete set of 4, came with instructions, $400 to $600 for the set. And we have a baseball premium. It is worth $75 to $100, made by the Standard Brewing Company from the 1930s in mint condition. $75 to $100 will do it. And our telephone number to call is 212-802-0082. Susie Anderson joining me, ready for our next appraisal?
Sure am.
Let's go back out to Westchester County, where Marie would like to have something appraised. Hi, Marie. Welcome to the program.
Good afternoon.
Please tell us about the pretty bowl that you're holding up.
This is early century, 20th century. It's an RS Prussia bowl. It does have the markings on the back.
And where did you
See
get it?
that? I bought this at a tag sale.
Did you get a good
See the
deal?
mark again? I've forgotten what I paid for it, but it wasn't a lot of money.
Okay.
Okay, that's what we call a blown-out bowl, meaning it has a design in the porcelain itself. See, it's etched in. It's like a blown-out blank, and it's all hand-painted, RS Prussia. That's the Schlegel-Milch Porcelain Company.
You
and
pronounced
don't
that very
ask
well.
me to say that twice.
Okay.
And her time frame is absolutely correct. It should not be done by any mechanical process. It should be all done by hand. Colors are very nice and vibrant and very natural for the turn of the century. Value-wise, depends on the marketplace again. New York, California is going to be higher in the 300 to 350 range. A median range is 250.
Okay. You don't remember paying that much for it, or you're just in putting it up for sale?
Yes, I am.
Okay, we'll do that for you. And thank you so much for joining us today on Personal FX.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. And now let's toss this over to John.
All right, Rich, what do you think of this thing, huh?
This is a lot of fun.
Yeah, this belongs to Susan, who stopped by to have it appraised. Hi, Susan, how you doing?
Hi, John. How are you?
Tell us about where you got these and what you paid for them.
I got them at a garage sale on a late Sunday afternoon, and I paid $20 for both of them.
For both of them?
For both.
She did good, right?
She did very, very well. What she has here is 2 Darth Vader Star Wars cases that seem to be almost completely filled.
I've never seen one of these
Figures.
cases with one of these inserts.
Well, John, let me start off. The insert is one of those things where, as a kid, you got the case, you looked at the picture, and it was a piece of paper, basically, and
Right.
you said, garbage.
It's outta here, yeah.
It's out of here. So this in itself is a tough piece to find. As I said, you've got most of the characters here. You've got, I noticed a lot of guns in the bag, and I'm sure someone can quickly figure out what guns go with which characters. From Darth Vader to the Stormtroopers to Boba Fett. One of the interesting characters you've got here is this fella right here. His name is Snaggletooth. Now you'll notice there are 2 versions of Snaggletooth. Originally, this was designed on speculation, basically on description of what the character was going to look like in the film. As it turned out, instead of being this tall character, it ended up being this shorter character.
That's amazing. Now we have 2 cases here, so what do you think?
Well, total price on them, and I'm going to be very conservative and say $300 to $400 because they've had some play wear, but they're certainly not abused. They're in very good condition.
$300 to $400, and you paid $20?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Do you want to take some bids? What do you think?
Sure, I'll put them up for sale.
All right, somebody out there really wants it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Susan, for stopping by. I
Thank you.
appreciate that. All right, let's go out to Westchester County, New York, where Jean has joined us to have something appraised. Hi there, Jean. How are you today?
Fine, thank you.
Good. What would you like to have appraised?
Well, these are items that belong to my husband, who was a collector, and it had to do with the Masonic Order. I have no idea the year or what, but they're old pieces.
All right.
It's for a collector.
Well, I'm going to turn this over to our appraiser, Rich Zelichowski. Rich, what do you think?
Well, Masonic items and general fraternal items are becoming more and more scarce because there are less and less men and women joining these fraternities and sorority organizations. And because there are less, the interest in some of this old stuff just isn't there, I believe, like it should be. Although some of these items are quite beautiful just to look at, perhaps even use as a decorative element. I notice the banner there with the skull and crossbones. I mean, people might enjoy that, although they might be a little odd, but just to hang up and use for everyday uses. Also, you don't see things like the Masonic trunk. Now, that's an item I don't think I've ever seen. But having run Masonic and other fraternal items through auction, I know for a fact that they aren't really bringing as strong a price as perhaps the book value on them is.
All right.
But generally on this entire package, I'm going to say, just because of the trunk alone, between $300 and $400. Some unusual pieces here.
Very nice. Jean, what do you think? Do you want to take bids on all that, or do you want to hold on to it?
No, I'd like to sell it.
All right, well, we'll take bids and we'll let you know. Thank you very much for being on the show. We appreciate it.
You're welcome.
All right, folks, got a question for you. What do Mick Jagger and supermodel Shalom Harlow have in common? Well, in the past year, they have both bought vintage Pucci fashions. Just what is this and who is Pucci? We'll answer that when Personal FX returns.
I know that Pucci is an Italian designer, clothing, accessories, and that's about it.
The Pucci scarf, Pucci skirt, Pucci top, with black leggings, black turtleneck would be super.
Pucci, it's a second brand from Gucci.
Join us for the Super Collectors. We do it every day at 1 o'clock. Some of the best hits of Personal FX. It's the Super Collectors every day.
Welcome back to Personal FX. Vintage clothing stores around the country agree that fashions designed by Italian designer Emilio Pucci are so hot, they just don't stay in the store. And right now we're going to be finding out more about these vintage fashions, what makes them collectible, with Darrow Cannizzaro from Darrow Clothing Store in New York.
Hi.
You sell vintage fashions.
Yes, we do.
Nice to have you with us.
Thank you.
Now, all these fashions are basically from the 60s?
They are. They're early to late 60s.
Tell us about the style of Pucci. What makes Pucci Pucci?
Well, Pucci colors are so bright. They're so vibrant, and the harmony, the colors that he picked are colors that are really offbeat, colors that you don't see anywhere else. So it makes them stand out.
Let's
you know
take a
it's
look
Pucci.
at one of his gowns. Agatha is modeling for us today, and she looks lovely in it.
Beautiful.
Tell us, describe it.
Well, this, again, I just said about the colors being so different. A very light gray, a deep gray with a beautiful, strong purple and turquoise.
I like
And
those fringes and the way they
That's a
move.
very atypical thing in Pucci, and this is something that you'll notice. Each piece is like an art piece.
The fringe adds to the value?
It does. This is a very unusual piece. It's about $448.
Very lovely. Thank you so much, Agatha. Appreciate. And now we have another dress. Is this more typical of Gucci?
This is a full-length, more typical Pucci print, and it has, you know, all the little things like the border, which is very typical. Always you find a beautiful border with Pucci. The colors, again, this one is in the autumn tones.
And Pucci used what fabrics, what range of
This
fabrics?
is all a silk jersey, so it's very, very sexy, and it also flows, and it really gives a beautiful look. You can dress it up or dress it down.
Worth how much?
This is about $400 as well. The full lengths are. No stains.
And we have one that's a little bit shorter. Tell me about this one.
This one we call the champagne bubble dress because it has a sort of whimsical little romantic style with the flounce on the bottom, and it has a self belt. which also some people wear as just jewelry.
Are these hard to find today?
Very hard, especially in perfect condition. These are all signed Emilio all over. Emilio Pucci, he was inspired by flags and different things which gave him this incredible color sense.
Now, I know that it's walking out of the store a lot.
Unbelievably.
But what is responsible for the popularity with collectors?
Well, okay, celebrities wear them. All you need to wear, like I'm wearing a shirt, all you need to wear is one little thing and it updates your outfit.
So you can
could
take your modern day clothes.
Right, and just throw it on. You can wear it to the office, you can wear it to the Academy Awards, you can wear it to a party. Wherever you wear it, immediately you're wearing Pucci.
Do collectors look for everything equally, or is there anything, one thing that they're
Okay,
looking for?
silk comes first, velvets. He did a line of loungewear, which is not as collectible. But his name is on everything, and it's like any status symbol.
And the Pucci name is also on accessories.
Yes, and you can get really inventive. You can put this on a purse like they did in the 60s. You can put it around your neck. You can use that little purse, which is originally a cosmetic bag, as an evening bag.
How much does something like this run?
$60.
And what is this little thing right
That's a little, this is my keys.
there? Oh, your personal keys. Okay.
Well, I had to keep something.
That's very nice. How much would you pay for something like this today?
65. That is, and that's in the cotton velvet, and it has all the Pucci markings and everything. If you know it's real, it's going to have the label. All of our things are signed, and some are even numbered.
I like the way you say it can be mixed and matched.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
For
Thank
being
you
with
for
us
having
today.
us.
Nice to have you here.
Thank you.
And now, Chelsea, it's over to you, John.
Well, guess who in this room used to have a Pucci dress? And it wasn't me. Used to have one right here. All right, turning to the mailbag, David from Palmyra, New Jersey wrote in, and David says, I bought this figure in 1980 as a gift for a friend, thinking it was a Basset Hound. When I looked at the piece later on, I was surprised to find out that it was actually a Dachshund. I gave it to an aunt for safekeeping, and when she returned it, I found out that it was a Hummel. On the bottom, it's marked Germany with some other blue markings that I can't quite make out. Can't find out any other information, so can you please help me?
This is in the limited collection of Goebel, and not technically a Hummel as we know it, the figurines. They did a full line of animals, and this one will normally, they're not as expensive as the figurines that we're used to seeing on this show. This one will book out for about $40.
So, is it a Hummel or not?
I would call it a Goebel.
You would call it a Goebel, not necessarily a Hummel. Not a Hummel at all, as a matter of fact.
I'd call it a Goebel.
Okay, so this book's out at about $40. All right, well, there you go, David. Hope we helped out. And now joining us via the telephone from Hunker, Pennsylvania, Patricia has joined us. Hi, Patricia, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Great. What would you like to have appraised today?
Well, the item I have to be appraised is the cash register. It was given to my husband in 1954, and he used it in his barber shop until his retirement in 1995. The finish is mahogany. It was manufactured by National Cash Register Company in Dayton, Ohio. And it is 17 inches high, 10.5 inches wide, and 16 inches deep.
Okay, and no money in the drawer. I see that. So, Susie, what do you think?
Well, it's obviously made much before the 1950s when she got it. It's probably from the turn of the century. National Cash Register is very collectible, but the highest of those collections are in the embossed brass designs, and they weigh about 10 bazillion pounds, and I can't move them.
10 bazillion pounds is kind of tough to move.
That's right.
This is a size 7-11 now. Does that matter?
This is a smaller size, and you saw the cash availability in that drawer was very small, and it does have the wood trim, which from the photo looks like it's rosewood rather than mahogany, but either one, that doesn't affect its value too much.
Oh, it doesn't. I see.
It's the size, and it's made out of wood that makes the value.
So if you're looking for a cash register and you're looking for something really expensive, you're looking for something that's brass.
Embossed brass.
Embossed
very
ornate.
Very ornate, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, what's the value on this one right here?
This one, a collector would be happy to pay between $200 and $300 for.
$200 to $300. All right, Patricia, what do you think? Do you want to take some bids on that? Do you want to hold on to it?
I think we'll hold on to it.
All right. Thank you for being on the telephone. We sure do appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
All right. Susie, tell them what's coming up next.
The big bits.
Stay with us, folks.